July 1. Nonsense, nonsense, Varenka, simply nonsense. Let you alone, and there's no knowing what notion you will take into your little head. One thing's not right, and another thing's not right. And I see now that it is all nonsense. And what more do you want, my dear girl? Just tell me that. We love you, you love us, we're all contented and happy. What more do you want? And what will you do among strangers? I expect you don't know yet what strangers are like. You had better ask me, and I will tell you what strangers are like. I know them, my darling. I know them very well. I've had to eat their bread. They are spiteful, Varenka, spiteful. So spiteful that you would have no heart left. They would torment it so with reproach, upbraiding, and ill looks. You are snug and happy among us, as though you were in a little nest. Besides, we shall feel as though we had lost our head when you are gone. Why, what can we do without you? What is an old man like me to do then? You are no use to us, no good to us. How no good? Come, my love, think yourself how much good you are. You are a great deal of good to me, Varenka. You have such a good influence. Here I am thinking about you now, and I am happy. Sometimes I write you a letter and put all my feelings into it, and get a full answer to everything back from you. I bought you a little wardrobe, got you a hat, some commission comes from you, I carry out the commission. How can you say you are no use to me? And what should I be good for in my old age? Perhaps you have not thought of that, Varenka. That's just what you had better think about. What will he be good for without me? I am used to you, my darling, or else what will come of it? I shall go straight to the Neva, and that will be the end of it. Yes, really, Varenka, that will be the only thing left for me to do when you are gone. Ah, Varenka, my darling, it seems you want me to be taken to Volkovo cemetery in a common cart, with only an old draggle-tail beggar-woman to follow me to the grave. You want them to throw the earth upon me and go away and leave me alone. It's too bad, my dear. It's sinful, really. Upon my word, it's a sin. I send you back your book, Varenka, my darling, and if you ask my opinion about your book, dear, I must say that never in my life have I read such a splendid book. I wonder now, my darling, how I can have lived till now such an ignoramus, God forgive me. What have I been doing? What backwoods have I been brought up in? Why, I know nothing, my dear. Why, I know absolutely nothing. I know nothing at all. I tell you, Varenka, plainly, I'm a man of no education. I have read little hitherto, very little, scarcely anything. I have read The Picture of Man, a clever work. I have read The Boy Who Played Funny Tunes on the Bells, and The Cranes of Ibycus. That's all, and I never read anything else. Now I have read The Station Master in your book. Let me tell you, my darling, it happens that one goes on living, and one does not know that there is a book there at one's side where one's whole life is set forth, as though it were reckoned upon one's fingers. And what one never so much as guessed before, when one begins reading such a book, one remembers little by little, and guesses and discovers. And this is another reason why I like your book. One sometimes reads a book, whatever it may be, and you can't for the life of you understand it, it's so deep. I, for instance, am stupid. I'm stupid by nature, so I can't read very serious books. But I read this as though I had written it myself, as though I had taken my own heart, just as it is, and turned it inside out before people and described it in detail. That's what it is like. And it's a simple subject, my goodness, yet what a thing it is. Really, it is just as I should have described it. Why not describe it? You know I feel exactly the same as in the book, and I have been at times in exactly the same positions as, for instance, that Samson Virin, poor fellow. And how many Samson Virins are going about amongst us, poor dears, and how clearly it is all described. Tears almost started into my eyes when I read that the poor sinner took to drink, became such a drunkard that he lost his senses and slept the whole day under a sheepskin coat, and drowned his grief in punch, and wept piteously, wiping his eyes with the dirty skirt of his coat when he thought of his lost lamb, his daughter Dunyasha. Yes, it's natural. You should read it. It's natural. It's living. I've seen it myself. It's all about me. Take Teresa, for instance. But why go so far? Take our poor clerk, for instance. Why, he is perhaps just a Samson Virin, only he has another surname, Gorshkov. It's the general lot, Varenka dear. It might happen to you or to me. And the Count who lives on the Nevsky on the riverside, he would be just the same. It would only seem different because everything there is done in their own way, in style. Yet he would be just the same. Anything may happen, and the same thing may happen to me. That's the truth of the matter, my darling. And yet you want to go away from us. It's a sin, Varenka. It may be the end of me. You may be the ruin of yourself, and me too, my own. Oh, my little dearie, for God's sake, put out of your little head all these willful ideas, and don't torment me for nothing. How can you keep yourself, my weak little unfledged bird? How can you save yourself from ruin, protect yourself from villains? Give over, Varenka. Think better of it. Don't listen to nonsensical advice and persuasion, and read your book again. Read it with attention. That will do you good. I talked of the station master to Rataziev. He told me that that was all old-fashioned, and that now books with pictures and descriptions have all come in. I really did not quite understand what he said about it. He ended by saying that Pushkin is fine, and that he is a glory to Holy Russia, and he said a great deal more to me about him. Yes, it's good, Varenka, very good. Read it again with attention. Follow my advice, and make an old man happy by your obedience. Then God himself will reward you, my own. He will certainly reward you. Your sincere friend, Makar Dostoevsky. Breaking in. For further information about the station master and Pushkin, see the second video of this compilation, especially the section on the Russian literary scene. We shall see if there is more of Samson Virin in our Makar Dostoevsky than Makar himself realizes. Also note that Rataziev's description of the new fashion in literature corresponds to what Joseph Franks refers to as physiological sketches. This is the naturalistic response to the romanticism of Pushkin. End of comments.